is ticking down to midnight when Toronto and Peel go into lockdown.
We're getting our Christmas shopping done before the lockdown.
I literally saw that everything was closing. I was like, if I don't get it now, I'm in the doghouse.
People stocking up for the long haul and business owners bracing for the financial fallout. And a stabbing in the city's East End that left one woman dead. Plus, the snow hammered the GTA for most of today. We'll look at whether it'll stick around to start the week.
This is CBC Late Night News.
Good evening, I'm Marivel Tarouk. In less than an hour, Toronto and Peel region will enter a new pandemic lockdown as case numbers in Ontario climb steeply. Today, the province reported 1,534 new cases, and in recent days, those two jurisdictions have accounted for the bulk of the totals. Angelina King has more.
The winter weather didn't stop Torontonians from stocking up before hunkering down, getting in last-minute shopping and errands.
I booked an appointment as soon as I heard there would be a lockdown.
To accommodate the demand, this spa extended its hours and brought in extra staff.
Our phones went off the hook. Essentially, we don't have a set closing time. It's whenever you need us, we're here.
But midnight tonight is a hard closing time, and it's not clear when they'll open again. To stay afloat, they're selling DIY spa kits and other at-home products.
We have to get ready to respond and pivot and do things differently in order to survive.
Other businesses are already on life support.
The stress is virtually killing me. It's very hard every day to wake up, get up.
Sabina Coulter's Brampton restaurant will try takeout for 2 weeks to see how sales go. But after spending thousands on safety measures inside and outfitting her patio outside, it might not be worth it.
I've already had days in November where we made $0.
Malls extended their hours for last-minute shoppers.
You got to do what you got to do to get it done.
We're getting our Christmas shopping done before the lockdown.
I literally saw that everything was closing. I was like, if I don't get it now, I'm in the doghouse.
But after seeing crowds like this, doctors have different worries.
We're going to see a wave for sure in a couple weeks from that.
Dr. Kashif Perzada says the ICU at his hospital is already full. He says the lockdown is critical, but that's just part of it.
I would say test every factory, every home in that area, couple it with sick leave benefits, and just try to find out where the hidden pockets of infection are.
This lockdown is in effect until at least December 21st, leaving many people here wondering if things will reopen in time for the holidays. Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
The images of shoppers flocking to malls this weekend prompted a stern critique from Toronto's mayor. In a statement, John Tory said, quote, "The province provided businesses and residents 2 days so they can plan for the anticipated closures. The weekend was not meant for people to rush out and do Christmas shopping or buy items that are not essential. Over the next 28 days, the only way to stop the spread of this virus is if we all follow the public health guidelines and stay home as much as possible." The mayor of Brampton slamming the province over lockdown measures today, saying shuttering malls and restaurants is just not enough.
The real help we need is an isolation center for our essential workers, sick benefits for people who are, frankly, going to work with symptoms because they can't afford to miss a paycheck. And if you look at the neighborhoods in Brampton that have among the highest rates of COVID-19, it also tends to be the neighborhoods that have the highest number of factory workers, essential workers, those in industrial settings.
Patrick Brown says those industrial settings are the #1 source of transmission in the city of Brampton. Peel region has seen 116 workplace outbreaks since September, and the mayor is desperately asking for help on that front. Brown says the federal government has promised to open an isolation center in Mississauga in December, but says that's too far away for his residents. Peel region reported the highest number of cases in the province today, coming in at 490. Churchgoers braved the snowy weather today to attend one last Sunday service before the city and Peel go into lockdown. Starting tomorrow, religious services along with weddings and funerals will be limited to 10 people indoors and outdoors under the new restrictions. The measures stay in place for at least the next 28 days. It was a frosty one out there today as most parts of the city were hit with up to 20 centimeters of snow. Our Dahlia Ashby joins us live from Harbourfront tonight. So, Dahlia, what can people expect for the rest of the evening and into the next few weeks?
Well, Maribel, like you said, I am by the waterfront and it is raining right now, unlike earlier when there was a lot of snow. But that rain mixed with the snow from earlier today just means that there's going to be some slippery road and sidewalk conditions throughout this evening and leading into tomorrow. Now, if the weather put a damper on your mood today, I spoke with one weather expert who tells me he has some good news as we head into the next few weeks. Mother Nature caught us by surprise today, but it didn't stop people like this dog walker from taking her furry friends out for a walk.
I'm out rain or shine, snow, snowstorms, everything.
For others, it's all about heading out for some fresh air.
No, it's not going to stop me at all from going out. I love going out in the wintertime.
Parts of the GTA hit with up to 20 centimeters of snow, keeping the city crews busy at work for most of the day, clearing the roads in places like North York, Scarborough, and Etobicoke.
We do ask that you please drive slowly and carefully. Drive as per the conditions of the road. Also, if you do see some of our salters, please stay back. Let the salters do their work and complete their route.
As we slide out of the weekend and into the week.
So generally, the further away from the lake you are and the further west you are, probably a good chance at snowing for a few more hours.
The snow is mixing with rain in most parts of the city this evening.
Yeah, with the wet snow, it's a bit slippery.
That's why the city is reminding everyone
12 hours after snowfall is completed that residents, the homeowners, property owners, please try to begin clearing the snow in front of their homes.
But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Luke says he doesn't think the snow will stick around for much longer.
Probably tonight it'll be messy, maybe tomorrow morning messy, but I mean, if we get into any sunlight or even just milder temperatures tomorrow afternoon, it'll start to eat away at it for sure.
As for all you fall lovers,
we still got a bit of fall weather left. It's not quite winter just yet, I would say.
now, although it did feel a lot like winter earlier today, it's not. And as Luke said, it won't be winter for the next little while. So I'm sorry for all the snow and winter lovers out there. But if you are going to head out tonight and go out on the roads, like I said, you want to be careful as the roads are slippery. And as Toronto Police is advising and encouraging everyone to take the snow off your cars and keep a safe distance while driving. Maribel?
All right, you've been brave for us out there all day today, Dahlia. Thank you. Okay, let's check in with Christina now for a bit more detail, because I think that's something so many people want to know, Christina, is if this snow is really done with for the day or the week.
Okay. So, Maribel, in the short answer, it's no. Not unless you're heading towards the nation's capital. And here are those details. But I have to say that we had some record-breaking snowfall. We smashed that record. We haven't seen snow like this, actually never. November the 22nd, 2007, we saw 7.6 centimeters. Now, at Pearson International Airport, unofficially, we saw about 17 centimeters of that snowfall. So is this snowfall going to continue? In the short range, no. So your Sunday overnight, you're not seeing snowfall in Toronto. You are, though, seeing rainfall south of there. So in the Niagara region and north of there, we are looking at some additional snowfall. So if you're heading towards the nation's capital, yes, you're going to be dealing with some snowfall there. We are, though, anticipating some rainfall for our Monday, so tomorrow, but not necessarily for the morning. So let's take a look at this hour by hour. You're seeing clear skies overnight for Toronto, Hamilton, Kitchener. Barrie, you are seeing those flurries. Oshawa clear as well. So tomorrow morning, we're not expecting rainfall, but we are expecting rainfall for our afternoon. So through our Monday, right through the 401 corridor from Windsor all the way into Montreal. We are expecting that rainfall, so you're going to need that umbrella for the afternoon. Snowfall you're heading towards Barrie, Owen Sound, Parry Sound, Bancroft, and then into Ottawa. That's where we're really going to be seeing that rainfall for our Monday. So our Monday morning, 1 degree, plenty of sunshine, little bit of cloud cover, but we are anticipating some more systems coming in midweek, and I'll have more details for you coming up in the long range forecast.
Okay, we'll check in a few minutes. Thanks, Christina.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Well, now to the city's East End, where police are investigating what led to the fatal stabbing of a woman this afternoon. It happened at about 1:30 near Victoria Park and Lawrence Avenues. Police say they arrived at the scene to find a woman with multiple stab wounds. She was transported to hospital but later died. Police did locate and arrest a male suspect who was found with a knife. Anyone with information about the incident is being asked to contact the Toronto Police Homicide Unit. Metrolinx ran an emergency exercise at Union Station today, preparing for the grand opening of their new bus terminal. The mock simulation tested the terminal systems and its personnel to see if they'd be ready to face a crisis. Officials say they have extensive plans in place for several scenarios, whether it be an active threat or a train derailment. Testing them, of course, is important to their success. The new Union Station bus terminal is set to open December 5th. It's located in the new CIBC Square Tower near Bay and Lakeshore, just south of the current terminal. It is National Housing Day today, and to mark it, dozens of homeless advocates built foam domes outside Mayor John Tory's condo building, calling on the city to do more to prevent deaths this winter.
In the middle of a pandemic, there's not enough shelter space. People do not feel comfortable going into a congregate living setting or like a shelter where there are other people, and they need to be able to survive. So this is ordinary people stepping up and building these little homes in the parks, and the city said that they're going to evict them. I mean, come on. People have a right to be able to survive. There's a right to housing and a right to survive, and that's what we're doing here today.
Advocates have distributed the tiny homes and green pods around Toronto in hopes of helping the homeless stay warm. The city recently posted notes on the structures saying they're highly flammable and must be removed immediately. Today's demonstration was meant to push the city to do more. In a statement, the mayor's office said Mayor Tory and the City of Toronto have been working nonstop throughout the pandemic to help our homeless population and provide safe housing options. Toronto fire officials have been absolutely clear that these temporary structures are not safe. Long-standing laws focused on public safety also preclude these kinds of temporary structures being located in public parks. While hospitalizations due to COVID-19 continue to climb, visits to the ER are plunging. Why this isn't a good sign. Plus, for many in the U.S., the pandemic is putting a major wedge in their travel plans over the Thanksgiving weekend as cases keep surging. More on that coming up next. Quebec is reporting over 1,000 new cases today, with 23 more deaths linked to COVID-19. Health officials say 1,154 people tested positive for the virus in the latest 24-hour period. 8 of the deaths also occurred in the last day. The number of patients in intensive care rose by 103, which is the most since June 12th. Alberta has yet another single-day record with 1,584 new COVID-19 cases, for the first time exceeding the numbers in both Ontario and Quebec, which have much larger populations. It's the 5th time Alberta has reported more than 1,000 cases in a single day. The first time was 1 week ago. No new deaths were reported today. Manitoba is reporting almost 250 new cases of COVID-19 today. This is the first weekend the province has implemented strict new rules banning the sale of non-essential goods in stores. And Saskatchewan is reporting 236 new COVID-19 cases. The biggest numbers are in Saskatoon and Regina. A major consequence of the pandemic has been the impact on Canadian hospitals. COVID-19 patients may be flooding emergency rooms, but visits for everything else, heart attacks, strokes, and other kinds of emergencies are down. And as Vicadopia explains, that's not necessarily a good thing.
When Peter McMillan gets short of breath, it's frightening.
It's like you're drowning.
It happened on Wednesday in a parking garage.
I'm told to call 911 because I really couldn't breathe. I'm going to put this on. Excuse me.
McMillan has avoided going to hospital emergency rooms because his lung disease makes him highly susceptible to COVID-19.
If you don't have it going in, you're going to get it there. It's the big concern.
His hospital hesitancy may explain why, when lockdown measures began in March, emergency room visits plunged compared to the same period last year. Of the most severe types of emergencies, there were 31% fewer visits for breathing problems, 23% fewer visits for chest pains and cardiac problems, and a drop in serious digestive disorders by 32%. In total, emergency room visits declined by almost 1 million compared to the year before. Some Canadian hospitals have seen sudden drops in ER cases in other public health crises.
And those decreases lasted up to 6 months after the initial onset of SARS. So they saw a bit of a continuation, and it took a year to come back. But these are quite dramatic, and they are across the country.
The one silver lining for hospitals, quieter ERs gave staff more time to adopt new infection control measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in hospitals. Still, questions remain about all those patients who may have needed emergency care but didn't get it.
So the thing that worries me the most is the truly sick that needed to be in the emergency department, that were not necessarily presenting, and that as far as we know, those are diseases that'll still manifest themselves.
As for Peter McMillan, he worries about the next time he needs to go to emergency.
You get it and you die, the respirator and bingo.
Vicadopia, CBC News, Toronto.
This week's Thanksgiving holiday is the busiest travel period of the year in the United States. But with COVID-19 surging across that country, health officials are urging people to stay home. CBC's Paul Hunter has more from Washington.
From the monster lineups for COVID testing, this one's in Los Angeles this weekend, to the ever closer to capacity hospitals where COVID is again spiking in America, the fear of the moment is a looming collective potential super spreader. The countless family get-togethers for this week's U.S. Thanksgiving.
You see people traveling, you see the clips on TV, people's at airports. I mean, those are the things we've got to realize are going to get us into even more trouble than we're in right now.
But even as COVID experts all but beg Americans to be extra vigilant at airports and the dinner table, there's pushback.
When you're in the majority, you have the vote.
Consider this yesterday in Washington state, a protest against restrictions on holiday gatherings.
We're being manipulated, and it's up to us to say we're not taking it no more. We're going to have Thanksgiving with our family, and you're not going to tell us otherwise.
Meanwhile, as America braces, the president again today went golfing. as his lawyers kept up that other battle, Trump's efforts to reverse the outcome of this month's election. Increasingly, even high-profile Republicans now urge the president to give up and just plain move on.
The president's legal team has been a national embarrassment.
From the former Republican governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie, to the current Republican governor of Maryland, Larry Hogan.
It's time for them to stop the nonsense. It just gets more bizarre every single day.
And yet, Trump's lawyers keep at it. In another courtroom loss yesterday, a judge in Pennsylvania ruled the case was, quote, without merit, speculative, and unsupported by evidence. Today, the Trump campaign filed an appeal regardless. Paul Hunter, CBC News, Washington.
He may be leaving Toronto, but he says he'll always be one of us. We'll have more on Serge Ibaka's emotional goodbye coming up. Serge Ibaka says he's always felt at home in our city with a fan base second to none. Ibaka posted the message on his Instagram today amid reports he's signed a 2-year, $19 million U.S. contract with the Los Angeles Clippers. The 31-year-old posted this photo, giving his thanks to the team, the staff, and of course, the fans. The 7-foot forward came to Toronto in a trade with the Orlando Magic in 2017 and, of course, played a crucial role in helping the squad win its 2019 championship. The Mafuzi chef and scarf-wearing extraordinaire also made a splash for his humor and his style. We're going to miss you, Serge. We needed those Serge Ibaka scarves today, Christina.
Oh my God, Maribel, Los Angeles just got a little bit cooler. We get Serge, right?
They certainly did. I know, we'll miss him.
Absolutely, and some good food. So from food, let's head into our weather. Sunday overnight, we are going to be clear. We did see that wintry mix that we've been talking about through the GTA. Let's take a closer look here at our long-range forecast. Out goes that low-pressure boy. It's a rush to really blaze into the Atlantic, where we are anticipating a blizzard. But for Ontario, it looks like we are going to be dealing with some rainfall for Monday afternoon. That's for southern Ontario. There is your rainfall for Toronto, for Oakville. Hamilton, it's that mixing. Niagara Falls remaining clear, but as you head north towards Newmarket and Barrie, there's your mixing once again. But check this out. For your Monday evening, clear for Toronto, clear for Oakville, Barrie, Newmarket, and Whitby. You're still dealing with a little bit of those flurries and a little bit of that mixing. Come Tuesday, cooler conditions, but dry. Sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover. Toronto right at the freezing mark. Brampton right at the freezing mark as well. Orangeville 2 below 0. So let's get into this long range forecast. There is your rainfall for Toronto for your Monday. Clear for your Tuesday, a little chillier, but Wednesday, Thursday, this is when that other front comes in. So we are going to be dealing with precip. A little early to tell if we're going to be dealing with any of that mixing, but thus far it looks like this is going to be our real rainmaker for Wednesday and Thursday, a little bit more mild. But by the time we meet towards the end of the week, it's going to be dry once again. A closer look at Barrie. There is your mixing for Monday, dry for Tuesday, and then here comes in that front midweek.
Okay, a bit of everything this week, it looks like. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Okay,
my pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a great week. We'll see.
Well, the Toronto Zoo starting and ending their holiday marketplace this weekend. The zoo transformed their courtyard into a festive bazaar featuring local producers and artisans. Of course, with the lockdown beginning in under an hour, the market had to close too. On its Twitter page, zoo staff thanked vendors and volunteers for one weekend of holiday cheer. And that is our show for you tonight. Thank you for watching. We are going to leave you with a look at some brave kids who enjoyed the snow today. It was fun, but also a little slippery. So as you head into the overnight and early tomorrow, please take it easy out there on the roads. The kids, though, they sure made the best of it today, didn't they? Have a great night and stay safe, everybody. Good night.